guys, welcome again to Sakurai and Gaming. Today we're talking about the history of Acura. So, welcome to this. It's a new series where we're going to deep dive into different car brands. And the first one, of course, start with A. And how can we miss Acura? So, as you guys might know, Acura is a American car brand. If you're British or from other country, Japan, like you probably wouldn't heard of this brand because basically they're Honda, but it actually diverted or what we call it to Acura, which is mainly produced in America. And today we're going to do a deep dive around it while we're looking at this amazing 2017 Acura NSX. And also I just got some news that Acura will make a new NSX XEV is an SUV coming this year in 2026. If you guys in America are interested, it will be priced around $50,000 US. So I have been heard they can drive up to 340 miles without charging it, and it got really high hertz of charging it as well. So that's a really nice car to start off with. But anyway, without further ado, let's dive into it. So in 1986, the automotive world has a binary, and you either bought a European Prestige or Japanese for a cheaper price. So you all might be wondering, like, back in the 1980s, like what kind of car brand are there? Like I can say, if you're looking for European for Prestige, then Mercedes, Audi, and BMW. Obviously, Japan on the other side, there is Honda, there is Nissan, and there is also Toyota. So these were and there was no middle ground. Then a group basically used to be Honda engineer had held a secret meeting. It's called the Waigaya session to solve a problem no one else would ask. Could a Japanese car be a luxury icon? Well, at that time, Japanese car just stand for reliable and really cheap. Compared to these days, just like Chinese being really cheap, and I guess so. And Acura wasn't a new brand. It was the first Japanese luxury brand, beating Lexus and Infiniti, to punch, basically they beat them 3 in 3 years. And today in 2026, Acura finds itself in another crossroad, from legendary NSX, just like the one I'm driving now, to all new electric RSX. So yeah, RSX, not NSX, so that was a mistake. But this is the story of precision crafted performance, how it was lost, found, and redefined in a digital age. So what I'm gonna say is, some footage being archived already of the original NSX testing at Suzuka, with one of the most famous F1 driver, Senna, driving the prototype in the Suzuka circuit in Japan. So honestly, this is a massive, you're getting one of the best F1 driver ever to drive in your car. Now I know you might say Michael Schumacher or Lewis Hamilton is good, but Senna is as good as them, or maybe even better. He's a legend, and everyone, if you watch F1 for a long time, you know he's a legend. And the way he died is really sad, and hopefully history don't repeat itself. But what I'm gonna say is, the legend Integra. So basically, I'm gonna explain how the legend forces Mercedes and BMW to realize that Japanese was a threat. So back in 1986, I can promise you, Mercedes and BMW out there just joking around, thinking that, oh yeah, how can Japanese car brand be a threat? But they are. And the miracle we also want to discuss about is how Acura built a supercar that didn't break down. It has a cockpit inspired by the F-16 fighter jet. Used to be one of the best fighter jet in the world, but we put F-35 is better, or B-2 bomber is better now. But it's still really good, and was the first production car with an all aluminium body. So by the time of today, they might already put on some titanium. You never know. But look at it. This Xbox livery is basically Xbox / Acura design, and it is not any DLC or anything. It's just some Xbox and CCXP23. So I don't know what that is, but I'll probably get this car for free with the free livery. That's how it people start actually driving Acura. if this was an Acura, I think this 3 car, I wouldn't know this brand, to be honest, and wouldn't personally go and buy an Acura from the auction show, because like that's the I never heard of this brand. Yeah, and then we also got the VTEC revolution. Like, we're gonna explain the brilliance of the VTEC, and it was just a meme. It was engineering wizardry that gave you 2 engines in one. So basically, they put 2 engines in one, and back in the day, it's really impressive. And to this day, I think it's really impressive as well. And like, sadly, they don't sell them in the UK, so we never really have a chance to actually see like Acura. Like, I don't think they sell any in the UK, because like they mostly do it in the American market. We're also gonna talk about Type R Genesis. We'll be mentioning the 97 Integra Type R, which I am gonna show you right now. Acura. Yep, this one is 1997, but I got 2001, so it's a much newer version, which considered the best handling front-wheel drive car of all time. So we need to check this car, and I think this car's it's front-wheel drive. It's really rated front-wheel drive these days. So like, if you look at this, you can see that press on the e-brake and you will see me pressing the back one, but if you're on a rear wheel drive, it'll press the first one. So that's one of the main details that Forza actually focus on, and all wheel drive often just stop at one point. So if you look at this, it is not as good drift car, but I'll say front wheel drive's that bad. Like, I'm pretty sure most street cars front wheel drive, to be honest. Yeah, but then after a while, the momentum stalled. Like, in the mid-2000s, Acura moved away from names like Legend and Integra, and in favor of those, like, what in those times they call it, like, more futuristic alphanumeric. I don't know how to say that, but yeah, but basically what they're doing is they're making some RL, TL, TSX, and the NSX, like all those things you can think of now. They started doing those, and the brand lost its soul to the break. That massive thing did paralyze the fans a bit. When rivals like rear-wheel drive with platform, Acura stayed front-wheel drive. They were reliable, yes, but are they special? I don't think so. Then it comes to saving grace, which they introduced the SHAWD, so it's super handling all-wheel drive. So that's what they say, and they basically explain the physics instead of just breaking wheels to turn, and instead sending powers to the outside rear wheel and actually push the car through a corner. So these are incredible stuff. Like, as they want to try to be new, bringing letter alphabetical, but fans don't like it, and they changed the front wheel drive to all-wheel drive, and as time goes on, they changed to rear-wheel drive as well. So as you see, it's just like they learned the lesson and they continue to improve, and to this day they still are improving now. And we're gonna talk about the 2016 NSX, the hybrid, which is not in Forza, by the way, served as a halo, providing Acura could handle complex electrification. So this car is basically hybrid. If you don't know what hybrid is, but most people should know by now, it's when you brake, they convert that brake energy, thermal energy, to the electrostatic energy for the car, which then is just a bunch of physics terms at this point. I'm not going to explain more, but try to keep it as simple as possible. It's basically when you brake, you convert these to energy. Okay, I just crashed in that truck, sorry. But basically when you when you brake, you convert the energy to a battery, and that battery basically link back to the battery basically linked back to the field, so it can help you. Oh my, there's a Hummer EV. Yeah, so basically it linked back to the acceleration and how, yeah, basically, and limit the acceleration, and it can like reduce the fuel usage, but the metal required to use in hybrid is really expensive. And back then they haven't installed any like some flooring behind, like below the car, which make lots of thieves around the world try to steal those metal and melt it, and then they can sell for a really high price. And that's basically what's happening back then. But as time goes on, they start adding these steel plates, and the problem simply they solve the problem, and there's no more stealing hybrid metal at this point. And when we talk about the hybrid, we also can't miss the Type S comeback. This like we're gonna deep dive into the 3.0 liter turbo V6 engine. It wasn't the fastest on paper, but it was feeling like the feeling of the front wheel drive, the feeling of the sporty luxury is back when they announced it back, and also like Acura fans are really happy about that. And then also we're gonna talk about the 2023 North American of the Year. They literally win it with the new Integra. It signs a critic and would say, basically critics are calling it a premium Civic that wouldn't work, but I think Acura just proved all of them wrong at this point and just say, yeah, you guys might think that, but we can actually provide it better. It won't be just a premium Civic that wouldn't work, and it will work, and it won the like best car award of the year in America. And also the ADX entry mentioned the 2025 ADX as a getaway drug for Gen Z buyer. Luxury tech at 35. Oh my god, this pickup truck. Yeah, so basically starting 35k US dollar, and it's basically a perfect getaway car for Gen Z buyer. It's like as they got away from university, the first car they may try to buy is an Acura. At this point, their price is really fair, and honestly, I think it's gonna be a like really good one for a new buyer. Sadly, in the UK, you probably won't even get to buy any of them because Acura don't just come in the UK market for no reason. But moving on, we're gonna talk about the 2026, what's coming up for Acura. So right now the Acura is doing something radical. They're skipping the slow hybrid transition that most are taking. Their flagship TLX, basically TLX is retiring, making room for the Acura RSX I mentioned really early on. Not a couple, but a sleek high performance electric SUV. I saw an article about the other day and I included it in my website where you guys can check it. I think in the bio of my website on my YouTube page, and you guys will probably see it. It's a really good car, to be honest. Really good SUV car for a family of 5 or family to 7. Yeah. And moving on, looking at the SUV, it's just built different if you compare to the BYD one. BYD just some simple tech. Now you're doing the Acura, it's like more luxury feel, but also in a really cheap price, maybe just a few, maybe like 10k more. But I'll say this Acura brand is cooking something quite good here. And other car brand, you guys should be scared right now because Acura ain't about to the Chinese EV to take over the whole fucking market. We're also gonna talk about the new Asimo OS. Like it's a new software architecture that allows the total over air update. So basically the air intake, or what you call it, the aerodynamic, they basically have a specific software for that. And also the Ohio connection, like the all 2026 EVs are being built in the US and use a dedicated in-house platform, moving away from GM-based ZDX. So they basically build a lot of new platform for 2026. Then we got a performance metric targeting 350 plus mile range. Okay, so that's actually more than the one they say on the website right now, with a dual motor setup pushing north of 500 horsepower in the Type S. Oh shit. Let me get back on the bridge first. Oh, we can get on train track. Yep, but So Acura journey never been about being the most expensive or being most exclusive. It's about being the energy of innovation where it's like 9,000 RPM VTEC Screamer of a silent torque heavy EV. The mission remains a car that responds to the driver with surgical precision. As we look at the 2026 lineup, one thing is clear: Acura is no longer just Honda Plus. It's a brand that's finally remember how to be itself. And if you'd like to listen to more of this story, then don't forget to subscribe me here, and I will see you guys next time. Next time topic, I don't know what it is. Comment down below if you want to see another car brand. But I'm mostly gonna talk about Forza Horizon 6 next time. But as the trend goes by, I never do what I do next. So who knows? And I'll see you guys next time.